Swadika, and welcome to Be My Guest, the program which brings you successful stories of entrepreneurs and organizations in both domestic and international arenas. I'm Sarosha Ratanapian. And currently we observe various moves in the agricultural sector that address a number of concerns. And in this episode of Be My Guest, we are taking a look at two projects which have been undergoing to address the issue of food security to ASEAN residents. And those are ASEAN Sustainable Agri-Food System, or ASEAN SAS, and that of the rice production and rice-based nutrition improvement, and that is Better Rice Initiative Asia, or BRIA. Currently, I am granted an opportunity with Dr. Mattis Bickel, the Project Director of ASEAN Sustainable Agri-Food Systems and Better Rice Initiative Asia. Swadika. So first of all, could you introduce yourself a bit to our fans and be my guest?
Yeah, sure. Thank you very much for having me. It's really a pleasure to be around. My name is Matthias Bickel and I work for GIZ, German International Corporation. So we are a German company, non-for-profit, and operate globally in 130 countries, have about 17,000 employees, and support the German government in reaching their international cooperation objectives.
Okay. So talking about the projects that you are undergoing right now, so should we start with the ASEAN SAS?
Yeah, sure.
So what ASEAN SAS is?
Yeah. So we look back to a quite long cooperation, fruitful cooperation with the Thai government. So especially this year is a very special year since we are going to celebrate our 60th anniversary, meaning that on 9th of October 1956 we have signed the first Thai-German technical cooperation agreement. As regards agriculture, that was really taken on in the 1960s, 65, so we had the first projects in the agricultural field in the 60s and continue to do so. So in 2011, the German government, more precisely the Federal Ministry of Economic Cooperation and Development, they have granted a project to ASEAN, which is called ASEAN Sustainable Agri-Food Systems. And Thailand is hosting this project on behalf of ASEAN.
I see, okay. So what will be the objectives, or what are the objectives of ASEAN SAS?
Yeah. The overall objective of ASEAN Sustainable Agri-Food Systems is to support the ASEAN member states, so that is to say the Ministries of Agriculture and the ASEAN Secretariat, in promoting and transforming the regional agricultural policies towards an implementation level in the various 10 member states.
Ah, okay, see. So that means right now, so this project is starting in Thailand first, as a first start or not?
Well, no, as I said, we have been around since 2011, so now we are halfway through the second phase, so to say.
Okay.
So the first phase was from 2011 to 2013, and the second one from 2014 to 17, so we have another 1.5 years to go, and there will most likely be a third phase, so to say.
Ah, okay, I see. So right now that means you are in the second phase of this project.
Yeah, that's correct.
Okay, so could you tell us a bit about the phase one, or what you have undergone, in undergoing ASEAN SAS?
Yeah. I mean, starting from the overall objective and ASEAN, so let me talk a little bit about ASEAN as well. So I guess you're very much familiar with ASEAN. It was also a stepping stone, 1st of January this year, when the ASEAN Economic Community came into place and practice. So what does that mean? That means that ASEAN is now one community, and all the trade barriers, so the tariff barriers and non-tariff barriers should not be there anymore. And moving towards one community with one customs tariff. So that means to say that the various member states will hopefully trade more with each other. And in this regard, the ASEAN Secretariat and ASEAN has come up with a series of regional policies. So first and foremost the ASEAN Economic Community Blueprint, as well as the Food, Agriculture and Forestry Vision 2025. And there are given some recommendations how to shape sustainable agri-food sectors, and we support the member states, including Thailand, in reaching this kind of objective. And Thailand has taken up the task of hosting this regional initiative here at the Department of Agriculture, Ministry of Agriculture and Cooperatives, Kasetsart University.
I see, okay. And regarding the activities then in each phase, so what are, I believe that there are 3 major components, in each phase that you have been undergoing already.
Yeah, that is true. So we have started in 2011 with a project that was called ASEAN Biocontrol for Sustainable Agri-Food Systems. And there we have really concentrated on promoting integrated pest management and biocontrol measures throughout the country. So the various issue here is, I'm pretty sure everybody asks themselves the question, what kind of food we would really like to consume. And by following principles given in an integrated pest management approach, tentatively the residues in the food production goes down, the food becomes safer, more nutritious, and that is actually the overall that was the overall objective of the first phase, to also enable the member states to follow that kind of route. In 2014 we have then broadened our services, also embracing additional topics beyond integrated pest management, which is integrated soil and nutrient management. So the soil, of course, is also of utmost importance when it comes to agriculture, and also farm economics. Since by introducing new technologies, of course, it needs to be seen what kind of technology is superior to the others. So that is then put in a curricula, and farmers and policymakers are then trained accordingly. Regarding components, so we have 3 different work fields, if you want to say so. So the first work field component is policy. So here we support the ASEAN Secretariat and the member states in transforming the regional policies to national policies. So for instance, there is a food, agriculture, forestry policy in place where all the 10 member states and the ministers of agriculture have agreed upon, and that needs to be implemented on national level as well. So we support the various member states in this regard. Then also when it comes to sector-specific or crop-specific measures, we have formed a regional expert group on biocontrol experts and also soil and nutrient experts. So they come together and they have agreed on a guideline what needs to be done in the sector in the 10 member states. So we also support implementing that kind of regional guideline.
Okay, and that has been the second component of implementation of production technologies, and that's also market linkages, I believe, that you provide as well in this project.
In order to make all our endeavors and the successes of the farmers sustainable, that could only be done in a system where the farmers really have market access, meaning where they can really buy their, really sell their products and sustain their services even without us, the service providers, being around. So they need to be linked to, in the field of rice farmers, to rice mills, for instance, so that sustainable supply chain is being set up, and the farmers can then on a constant basis sell their high quality products to the mills directly.
Okay, so what about the expected outcome? So what do you expect from this project?
Yeah, so from this project, so until 2011 we have managed already to count the results, so to say. So with €1 invested by the German government, we were able to bring into the project activities another €, so that makes it 2 of public investment.
Wow.
With these €2 of public investment, we have generated another €4 of additional income. So by counting all the farmers we have tackled so far, which is roughly 40,000, we've managed to generate an additional income for the farmers amounting to 50 million net profit over 5 years in 10 countries.
Wow, okay. So what about regarding, challenges and difficulties, do you experience or encounter any challenges at all in encountering this project?
The agricultural sector, of course, faces a lot of challenges. I mean, first of all, there are global trends which come as a huge challenge, be it severe weather events, climate change is happening. So there's a lot of pressure regarding the natural resource base. That means soil is being contaminated, water scarcity, floods and droughts. I'm pretty sure you are very well experienced in this regard here in Thailand with regard to floods and droughts. So all these form a lot of challenges for sure. And then the time frame is also key. That is to say, we only work commissioned by, on the basis of commissions by the Federal Republic of Germany, and usually these kinds of projects come in 3, 4, 5-year phases. But working with a lot of smallholders, this is very particular, and of course it takes quite some effort to reach out to 10,000 or even 100,000 farmers at the same time within a given time span. So it's the amount of smallholders being in one sector, as well as the global trends affecting the production base.
Okay.
So these are two major challenges I see.
I see, okay. And one of the last question here of this break is, after this project, of ASEAN SAS, so do you plan to have other future projects in order to promote food security in ASEAN continent?
So this decision will be taken by the German government, more precisely the German Federal Ministry of Economic Cooperation and Development. This is our main sponsor. And they in turn agree with ASEAN on certain projects. So we hope very much that this will not be the last phase in the agricultural sector supporting the Thai government and ASEAN, but hope also for a third phase. To be then continued our activities until the end of 2020.
Okay, so we look forward to seeing more success from ASEAN SAS. But for now, it's time for a short break. Right back, we learn more about another project which is called Better Rice Initiative Asia, or BRIA. So please stay tuned and be my guest.
ASEAN countries has been known as the kitchen of the world. We produce food for people in our region and for the world. Food, I mean rice, vegetable, and fruit. But it's not about the amount of food that we produce. It's about the quality of the food. Whether the food is safe enough to eat. Whether the poor can get the food at the affordable price, as well as the rich. This is the ASEAN Sustainable Agri-Food System is trying to do. And in the respect that we have to respect the nature and the environment.